coming into the NFL, getting drafted by the Seahawks, with NFL guys, a lot of people kind of talk about like the vet who kind of showed them the way when they got in the door. For you being with the Seahawks, who was that vet for you, and kind of what example or what lessons did you take from them that has maybe kind of served you to this point?
I think I had two vets that kind of took me under their wing and, showed me the way. Or one would be Bobby Wagner and K.J. Wright. Ironically, they're two linebackers, but yeah, I think with KJ, I never forget, was in the training room, and he was like more so like taking care of body. And I never forget, he got me to go with Dr. Bradley, who was the guy who does body work in Seattle. So I pay for your first session if you go or whatever. I went. Long story short, I ended up being with Dr. Bradley for 4 years, just off of
wow.
KJ lobbing me, hey man, this is a guy who take care of you throughout the whole season. And then with Bobby got me on like a different regimen. Like he had me up, he had me reading, he had me training differently, like just had me on a different, like game plan than everybody else. So when I made that big hit against Minnesota, especially on special teams, preseason game, after that play, Bobby comes up to me and says, see what happens when you show up to work early? Because he had me at work at 5 a.m. I'm at the facility at 5 a.m. And I was like, I remember he told me that, I was like, Bobby, what you want me to do when I get to at 5 a.m.? He said, man, do something, work on your body, catch junction, do something. I was like, man, all right, I do it. I did it. And I just kept doing it every day. It just became part of my routine. So like, I just, meetings don't start till about 8 o'clock. So imagine somebody being at work at 5 a.m. People still sleeping. Literally people are still sleeping. So it got to a point with me, and I'll tell Bobby, hey, Bobby, I beat you work this morning. He says, that's all right. I'm already 100 days ahead of you. He used to always say that every time. He right. I'm like, dang, he right. But everywhere I've been, I'm getting there at 5 a.m. That's just how I am. And I'm beating trainers. I'm beating everybody else who got to go to work, who don't got to do no strenuous jobs, just to be in the office. I'm beating it's still dark at the facility, So I think that really, that's showing me like I'm taking care of my body the night before to get up at 5 a.m. because you can't go to sleep at 12 o'clock and then be ready to be yourself at 5 a.m. So, and I just make sure, ever since then reading books. I remember when Bobby told me to read one book, I really wasn't feeling it. And he got me another book. And after he got me that one book, man, I read like 10 books that year that he put me on reading books. And ever since then, like, I got a whole library now of just books. I just read self-help, business books, all type of stuff.
Wow. What does that maybe say about Bobby? Because like I know him pretty well, and he's just kind of a different kind of cat. Like he moves different, like he's very motivated, very disciplined. It kind of speaks to why he's so great on the football field, but also off the field, just with entrepreneurship and whatnot. I guess just being up close with greatness like that and him having kind of rubbed off on you a little bit. I guess what can you say about just having been up close with Bobby, kind of why he is what he is?
Well, I think what Bobby is just because with success, I'll put it as simple as this. He can't be successful unless the next person is successful as well. So that's why he's so successful, because he gives back, he pays it back, and he's always wants the best interest for the next person to him, and he looks out for everybody. He's a good dude, good family man. Like you said, he moves definitely all about his business, never emotional, like just like he's doing all his business without an agent. Can you imagine that? And it's not like, oh, I'm gonna just represent myself. He took the time to do diligence to, learn what to say, what not to say. Like it takes a different cat. Like, if a GM comes to you like, hey, we're only gonna give you about $8 million. And another player might take that just for $8 million, but Bobby's not gonna be like that. He's gonna be like, okay, all right, well, let's do these. How about these numbers? How does these numbers look to you? It's very professional. There's a Bobby, a football Bobby. There's a business Bobby.
Fact.